Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily DVAR Halacha. And here's a brand new halacha for you, and it's for Monday, the 6th day of February, 10th day of Shvat. Here we go. Now, we had in our last halacha a bunch of bad news for you, like how you shouldn't be talking in Shul and all that. And it was probably painful to hear that because we're all guilty of it. But now the good news. The good news is that there are a lot of conversations, only goody conversations that are going to be permissible in the shul. Like anything that has to do with mitzvah. Like if your friend wants to tell you to come to a bris, your friend wants to tell you to come to a sheva brachas and stuff like that, that's a mitzvah. Those kinds of things are going to be allowed to be discussed in a shul. No guilt at all. Let's say there's a shul meeting, and at the shul meeting they're going to be discussing how we're going to change the carpeting in the shul, and even if you're going to discuss like purple or red carpet. Well, that's still a shul need, and you could be discussing stuff like that in shul. If somebody wants to give a shiur in the shul, of course that's going to be allowed. That's Torah. But even if the group is little children, and you might think, well, I don't know, that's not so holy. It's just little children. But of course that's holy. That's for Torah. That's for kids. It involves the expansion of our Torah through the community. So yeah, you could be giving a shiur to children, to elderly people, to people hard of hearing or anything. That's a holy cause, and you could be doing that on Shabbos also. If you're a doctor in the shul and somebody needs to come over to you and say, my child has a fever, it's only 103, but he's like shaking really bad. Those kind of questions, of course, the doctor could be answering in the shul because that's very necessary. These questions scare us, and medically we need to know the answers to them. So yeah, the doctor in shul could be answering all those kinds of questions. Those people who need to make announcements about the shul schedule, the gabbais who need to meet in the back and have a discussion about should we give shlishi to so-and-so, and which guy will be more insulted. I hate to say it, but that's part of shul too, and that's needed. And you're going to have to discuss that. Sure, you can do that in shul. Let's say it's shul expenses, and we need to know whether we're going to, raise the price at the dinner. But that's important, and it has to do with keeping the shul open and solvent and working. You can discuss that in shul too. Let's say all the little kids in the shul had a learning program, and since all these kids came to learn, you want to reward them. So all of them are getting pizza or whatever. So if your shul allows eating inside of it, you could be doing that too. But even the raffle prize, where you say, we're going to pick out a ticket now for all the 100 kids who just came to learn, and the winning ticket is getting blah, blah, blah. That raffle might not seem holy to you, but yes, it is. That's what's helping the learning program stay exciting to the children. So yeah, you could do that in your shul also. And it's not considered, unnecessary talking. If a fellow Jew comes in and you say, hi, how are you doing? That's allowed, because that too makes the person feel good as he comes into shul. In all of these, though, the one thing to watch for is, how are you doing? I'm fine. But I want to tell you, so-and-so, he's doing horrible, because he just got into a big fight with so-and-so, and now you're devolving into all kinds of lashon hara and all kinds of evil talk that doesn't belong in the shul. But I told you this was going to be mostly good news, so yeah, as long as you keep it all kosher and you're asking a fellow person how he's doing because he needs encouragement, that's allowed too. Somebody sneezes and you want to say, God bless you, that's allowed too, because that's just allowed. By the way, some rabbis say it's not really needed during learning time, because that in itself is your protection. So if you're in the middle of shiur, by the way, and someone sneezes, you don't need to scream out gesundheit and interrupt the shiur. The shiur itself is the whole gesundheit that's needed. And well, okay, a bad piece of news. If there's a eulogy for a great person, that too could be done in the shul. And those are the kinds of things, the kinds of discussions that we condone inside of a shul, but not Super Bowl stuff. But I told you it'd be mostly good news. As long as you keep it kosher and proper and it's mitzvah, yeah, you can discuss that in a shul. Thanks for logging on. Log on again tomorrow for more. Bye-bye.